Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Shadow bringing you guys another video, and this time we are on Green Yellow Law. So, facing my buddy Mooscan here, I go first. I want first, I believe, for curve. So, I do open up with a Bonnie. Taking first is a little risky because I do know um, Green Purple Luffy, Jesus, brain fart, wants to go second to be able to play that Sanji Pudding on 6, use the ability, and basically play out a Zoro Joro, but I want to go first. So you see, I do find a Cavendish off Bonnie, and basically because on 5 down turn, I want to establish a Cavendish and be able to do, a crazy leader ability. So I do swing 7, and here, this is absolutely crazy. He ends up triggering a Gamma Knife, which is going to ramp him an active Don. So basically going to accelerate the Sanji Pudding turn for him here. So not what I wanted. I basically wanted to see the Sanji Pudding turn 3, but it's going to pop it off on turn 2 instead, which is very unfortunate. So you do see he swings 5, or then his Nami Searcher into my Bonnie to get rid of my search, which is what you want to do. Make sure you respect that Bonnie Searcher. I have seen a lot of players just not swinging the Bonnie before, and you don't want to give Green the chance to just continuously gain cards. It's like Blackbeard. You don't want to let him use that Luffy. He does pass, does not use leader ability, which was, I get it, because you're only going to restand 3 Don. And you do see here, I am going to do the Cavendish and then do the Apu. I'm going to play out an Apu just so that I can use my Law ability, which is going to play out from life. And I do see a bounce Law, and I choose not to bounce the Cavendish back to play something from hand. And I do this because essentially I want to keep that Cavendish on the field for next turn to just continuously pressure. But yeah, so Apu was established for the main reason of just being able to bounce it back to use leader ability to try to gamble a body onto the field there, which worked out. So I do swing 6, and he ends up taking that hit as well. So already I have 2 5-6K swingers, which are all going to be able to swing into this GP here, which is exactly what I want to do. And he establishes a second Sanjin Pudding, which is going to get him a draw. No, he doesn't get a draw since he was way more Don than I am. But his leader is going to be able to use the ability, restand 2, and get the 2 back from the leader ability because of the 2 Sanji Pudding. So basically playing it out for free almost for like 1 Don. You do see the Nami Search finding that secret Luffy, which is essentially one of the great cards in the deck. Rush, restand for sending 2 active Don back. Obviously, the bread and butter of GP is going to be the Sanji Pudding. However, that's going to be like an end game. So you do see the 6K swing. I do take it. And then here he swings 7. I am going to counter and then use the Apu for a 2K to get out of that swing. And he still has 5 Don left. He is going to be able to swing big with the Nami if he decides to, or could establish a Zoro Joro for a search. And this is where, again, not respecting the little bodies on the board just hurts, because it does get a big swing off. I believe that's a 7K swing with that Nami Searcher. Should have just swung at that instead of life last turn, but you never know. GP, I would have expected him to play a Zoro Joro, so miscalculated on my part. So already down to 1 life, playing it very risky here. I believe, looks like I am potentially going to establish that. Well, I thought I was going to establish the Bonnie there, but I do go with a Kid Killer search here. And I opt to grab a X-Drake, which is really just a 2K counter. On play can rest a 5 or less. So these Sanji Puddings are able to get put down right now. But you do see I play a Capone Veggie, which is going to allow me to take a life, put something down, and I end up putting that Law there so I could use the leader abilities you just saw to bounce the Veggie back, play the Law, bounce this Kid Killer to essentially search 1 more time. And I do find a useless Captain Kid. However, I am in a pretty rough spot. I think I do have 3 Hody Jones in hand right now. Honestly, the best thing right then and there would have been to essentially grab any counter, because I don't think I am going to utilize the Kid at all this game. especially with how aggressive the GP's been going. I already know he has that 6 cost rush Luffy, which is going to swing for 7. And he already has multiple bodies on the field as well that can swing for 7. So here I'm considering my options. I do have 2 Dawn left. Could swing 7 into one of these Sanji puddings to restand 2 Dawn. Or I can swing 9 to attempt to clear. So I am going to restand the 2 off the swing. Swinging at the Sanji pudding here. You do see a 1k. And I attach another 2 or another 1. Going to swing another 7. And at this point we're kind of dwindling the hand a bit. And I leave the 3 Dawn for a Bonnie. And again, we do this because we at this point need to just block her up at, we already know he's going to have a potential 4 to 5 swings next turn. I am in lethal range as well since I only have 3 blockers. So I'm in a really bad spot. I do have a lot of cards in hand, so he may or may not know that I have a lot of counter. However, I do know I have, I believe, 4 bricks in the hand right now. 3 Hodies and a useless Captain Kid. So you do see he's swinging 7, and he's going to swing another 7 here potentially. But he's going to try to math it out to just attempt to go lethal. So it looks like I have at least 6k counter in hand. So here comes the 7. I do give him 3k, the Extric and the Cavendish there. So looks like I have at least one more 2k, that being the Veggie that I bounced last turn to use for ability. And we know he has the 6k, or the 6 cost Luffy, which is going to come down this turn. Is going to be able to use the leader ability to restand, and then again get 2 Dawn since the Sanji and Pudding is still on the field here. So honestly sitting in a pretty good spot. Again, you don't know how much counter I have, so it's just how well you think you can get there. But with an extra 6 Dawn this turn, it's going to be very easy to get there. Or an extra 4 Dawn actually. So at this point, I'm banking on him essentially just swinging out incorrectly, because you do see I have 1 2k in hand. The rest are bricks. so I think that 6 cards in hand and 5 are non-counter cards. So I essentially have to swing out, or he has to swing out to the point where he's just not comfortable with doing it. And again, currently has 3 big swings, especially with this Luffy here. So I do know that he has Gum Gum Giant in his hand, as we do see it there. So it all depends on whether he wants to just go for lethal here or play it a little bit safe. And he does ask to check the trash because he knows this deck runs a lot of counter cards. And obviously he hasn't seen much. And with 6 cards in hand, you can assume that I might have a lot. So I do think he's going to swing. I forget what it was. I think he swings 10-10 with this secret Luffy here. But what I'm going to bank on is that he swings only 6k with his leader. Because if he swings 6k, I am able to counter out with that Veggie from hand. And if he decides to swing big with the Luffy, I can give him both blockers. However, that's just us banking on whether or not he decides to go 4 game or not. So you do see he's going to attach the 3 Dawn, swing 10k at my leader using the ability. He's going to take a life, leaving him with 2 Dawn left. I do give him 1 blocker, swings another 10. I give him my last blocker. This should be enough to signify that I don't have enough counter for that. And here he's considering on swinging big, but opposite just swing 6k. I do give him the Veggie, and this is going to solidify the game for me. I'm going to slap down Hody Jones, rest his 2 Dons, and not let him do Gum Gum Giant, and essentially just swing big with the rest of my board here. So Cavendish is going to swing. I believe I swing for 7. Because it is going to restand a Dawn. Oh no, I opt to swing 8 to just kind of clear it. Restand 2, going to swing big with leader or Hody Jones, and that is going to be game. If you guys enjoy the content, make sure you guys like the video, comment down below what you guys thought of the matchup, and I will catch you guys on the next one.